Hello, I'm Madeline Tynan from Tynan Motors, and today I'm here with Julia from Southern Cancer Care and Sebastian from Hazelhurst. Welcome.
Thank you.
We're here to raise money and create awareness to people that are being carers for people with cancer. Julia, talk us into how you got involved in this.
Well, I'm a clinician at St George Hospital. I've been there for 27 years and I sit on the board of Southern Cancer Care. Southern Cancer Care grew out of the Prostate Cancer Institute. So Prostate Cancer Institute, many of you will remember, was responsible for building the Cancer Centre in collaboration with our community. But we decided about 5 years ago there's more than just prostate cancer. So we broadened the view and we're now known as Southern Cancer Care. So we sit across the St George Hospital and also Sutherland Hospital and the cancer services that we provide. Our aim is to work with the community to make sure that we have world-class cancer services throughout the St George and Sutherland areas.
So it started off that was really, firstly, big buildings, trying to get the right atmosphere to do this in. Now you're really just swinging it around again and just opening up the doors. What tipped you? Is there a certain patient or something that did that?
Look, I work very closely with patients with head and neck cancer, and what has become really apparent to me is that we provide excellent cancer services. But a really big gap is what we do for our carers. They walk alongside their loved ones having cancer treatment, and it's a really hard pathway. So when I joined the board, one of my priorities is that we actually look at how we can better support the carers of people through cancer treatment.
Because when they're a carer, their whole life is wrapped up in hospital visits, trying to keep well and healthy. Everything revolves around that patient that has got the cancer, and then when if they do pass away or they get better, it all stops, and that caring unit that they've had wrapped around them the whole time, it sort of disintegrates. The doctors go on doing their thing. All of those facilities that you had there to help you disappear. I know I saw it with Dad. It really just sort of disappeared, and you're sort of left going, oh, what happens?
Absolutely. I mean, many of my patients talk about they feel like we provide a scaffold during treatment, and then at the end of the treatment, that scaffold goes. And so we want to better prepare people for the cancer journey and also that transition, either if they're unfortunate and we're not able to save their loved one, or if we are, even going back into the community takes a little bit of negotiating. So we want to build those resources to help those transitions.
And you found this wonderful woman that is going to share her experiences with us through art. Can you give us a little bit of background there?
Yes, so Becky Louise, she's up in the Tenterfield area, and her partner was diagnosed with a very aggressive soft tissue sarcoma. She had 18 months of cancer treatment away from home. She had to go up to Brisbane. But Becky's a registered nurse and also an art therapist. So she journaled this cancer journey through art. And she is a friend of a friend, and when unfortunately Nat died earlier this year, I said to her, let's make something of this together. And so she's very generously sharing her experience, and we hope it's going to open the conversation with all of our carers here.
Yeah, well, I find, in our case, when my father passed away, the way I could cope with it was doing the Michael Tynan Challenge and trying to raise as much money as we can to give back to the wonderful doctors and nurses that looked after Dad in his time of need. And obviously with Becky, that's the way they saw the good times and the bad times together, right?
Absolutely.
And then in comes Sebastian. Julia came to me and said, what can we do? And I said, well, you can hold it here at Tynan Motors. But then you were so gracious and offered us to be able to hold it here at Hazelhurst and really, and it's all about home. I think when you're a carer and have a person with cancer, you are at home a lot, or otherwise you're in hospital. And this home you've opened up to us, we can show the art in its true form. Can you walk us through Hazelhurst and how this beautiful home came to be?
Yeah, absolutely. And like what you're saying, this is a community story, and I don't know anyone in the community, anyone who hasn't been touched by cancer, unfortunately. So Hazelhurst was originally a property that a husband and wife lived on, and we're in their house now, which we call the cottage, which sits at the centre of Hazelhurst. This kind of property was a gift to the people of the Sutherland Shire for artistic purposes. And we're going to celebrate our 25th anniversary next year of running the art centre here. But in talking to Beck and hearing her story and sort of seeing her artistic journey, the idea of housing this exhibition in a home is so important, this kind of intimate space. We do lots of very big kind of exhibitions that have like kind of impact with huge paintings and things like that. And it's really nice to just have a space where there's artwork sort of dotted throughout the kind of cottage, so that people can have that sort of personal one-on-one kind of connection to the work. They approach the works very kind of intimately because it is a very intimate story. We're also really excited about showing some of the primary materials, particularly the journals around that kind of time, the care, as to get a real kind of deep insight into what it is. And Beck talks about how joyous she is and how grateful she is to have art as the outlet to kind of express all of
But
this.
there's lots of different types of art, isn't there?
Yeah.
So everything from paintings to her journals through to
Sound
projecting
recording.
big photographs, etc., on walls. So that it's a real mixture of art and friends and family and sort of going through that journey.
And I think it's one person's story, but it's a very universal story, which is that story of carers. And as you rightly pointed out, naturally and understandably, a lot of attention is focused on the patient, but of course, carers are such an integral part of that kind of journey, and probably don't get as much airtime, or nearly enough airtime compared to patients. So it's a really fascinating kind of story, and a very brave story. I mean, I really commend Beck on her bravery. So for us, it's a joy because this is what Hazelhurst is about, which is about community and
caring. Like in Beck's case, it was obviously caring, and we're talking about carers in Carers Week. It will be. So it's actually bringing those carers in and giving them a point of difference so they can move forward.
Yeah, and hopefully, for people that have been through that journey as a carer, or will unfortunately go through that journey at some stage. Hopefully, it will give them some kind of solace and some kind of framework and a reminder that they're not alone. Because it was interesting talking to Beck, even as a registered nurse. I mean, she had those feelings, herself, even as a professional carer. As a carer for her partner. She felt that isolation, that disconnectedness.
She was lucky actually that she had that knowledge to do that. A lot of people, when they're thrust into being a carer, don't have that knowledge and don't have that backup. Julie, can I just bring us back to, yes, it is that the Southern Cancer Care, but it's a different little part of it that you'd like to donate that money to for carers, isn't
absolutely. So I think there's some themes that go across if you're the cancer patient or the carer. There's uncertainty with how the trajectory is going to go. For a lot of people, they don't have the health literacy of what does it mean to walk into a cancer centre, how should I be prepared, what to expect. And then there are certain things for the carer, and Becky talks about feeling really alone and at sea, and that she has to put all these different hats on and be everything as the carer. So what we want to do, I think as a clinician, I know, but I've worked for 27 years in cancer, so I want to hear from the community. What resources can we build for you to better prepare you, to better support you, and to walk alongside you in this journey as you support your loved one? Is it a support group? Should we do podcasts with themes? What do you want? So this evening for us is very much opening the conversation so that you can tell us. We want to put all of the money we raise from the ticket sales directly to building these resources for carers and having them available.
And looking at whether art can help that situation through art, all different types of art, how that could help.
So actually on the exhibition is on the Friday night. It will be open throughout the weekend, and then on the Monday we're going to run a pilot of 10 cancer patients and or carers, that we will have Becky running an art therapy course for the day. And if that's successful, that's something that we're very happy to implement into our practice.
And I think what we were saying, Sebastian, everyone is touched by cancer.
Absolutely.
Whether and I know 9 out of 10 people that's in their inner circle too.
Yeah.
And you really need to know how to support those people and the carers unfortunately their person they're caring passes away, or even if they get better, because life does change.
It
with
absolutely
cancer.
does.
It really does change your perspective and the way you think about things. So it's a really good thing that you're doing, is opening it up and making this available.
And we really see this exhibition as a celebration. We see it as a very positive kind of buoyant thing. It's celebrating life, and it's celebrating love, and it's celebrating all the things that are important to people, and just being mindful of how valuable that is, how valuable health is, how valuable feeling connected is. And so this opportunity is an opportunity for people to come together, to connect at an event, to share stories, to see themselves. You know, they might not have the artistic ability that Beck has to express themselves, but they can certainly empathise with the feelings and emotions she's going through. So yeah, we're very proud.
And I think it's a learning process, isn't it? You know, you're gathering all of these people and you're trying to understand, what is it like? As you say, you think you know, I think I know, Sebastian thinks he knows, but it's really lovely to be able to mould it into some sort of document that we can move forward with and create something for these carers that hopefully will go out and expand even further. Ticket sales are on our websites, both of our websites, so we'll put that up for you. If you'd like to speak to myself and how you'd like to get involved or be a donator, you can ring 8545 8888 or jump on to the Michael Tynan website or the Southern Cancer Care website and Hazelhurst. So all of our websites will have all the information, but come along, see what we're all about. And as we say, you've got to have a laugh even when you want to cry in these situations, and it really helps you walk through that journey together and know people care about you.